Alright guys, how are you, guys and dolls? Hopefully you're good. As you see, I have a whole new hairdo going on. See that? See that? Swoop! See that? You like it? You like it? It's different, huh? It's different. I like it. Alright, let me turn around to the back. I don't know if you can see me, but I don't know if you saw that. But anyway, I will tell you, if you have any questions about it, ask me in the comments below. I will tell you, this is the first time I've ever worn my hair short, like way short. Y'all see it's tapered in the back, you see that? I don't do that ever. Ever. But I did it this time. And I'm doing a couple things on my phone. I'm just going to put it on Do Not Disturb. I will talk to you about it in a second. Just give me a minute if you would. It's my first time. This week is my... Whoa. This week is my my birthday. And I'll be 21 again. Hey! If you don't have dreams, hopes, and dreams, you got nothing in life. You know what I'm saying? So anyway. So one of the things I love about it, I love the color, I love the cut, I love all of that. It's just amazing. I love it. It's classy, it's sophisticated, it's totally not me normally, and what you need to do is learn how to get outside your box. You know, we get stuck in a box and in a I don't want to say a mold, but we get stuck in the same thing all the time, and we get comfortable there, you know, and that's not always a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So every now and then you gotta spread your wings and fly like a bird. Yeah. I'm not really digging that with the earrings. I know, I'm being so girly. Okay, we gonna have problems now. Wait a second. Man, y'all know I be having drama on camera. You know that. Well, at least I keep it real. I'm not fake. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm keeping it real. But yeah, I'm not digging that together with that. I'm not digging it. So, today, I want to talk to you about triggers. I was triggered today, and I didn't realize I was triggered until I got defensive, really defensive about something. Somebody on YouTube had made a video that, you know, we shouldn't call narcissists monsters because they're human like the rest of us, and that I don't agree with. Technically, are they human? Yes. Do they have the ability that the rest of us have to be human, as in empathy and compassion? No, they do not. So if you don't have a heart and soul, so far as I'm concerned, you're not human. And considering all the damage that they do to us, we have the right to call them whatever the heck we want to call them, because they cause divorces, miscarriages, family members who hate each other from here on out, best friends that are no longer friends, that get you fired from your job. Sometimes they get you arrested. You go to jail behind them and lies that they told. And if somebody calling you a monster is the only thing you got, or calling you a robot or a monster, and that's the only ramifications you have, you better count your blessings. And I also made a comment that, you know, it's America. Well, I didn't say that, but I'm saying it now. This is America. You should be able to say what the heck you want to say, within reason, you know. And they're doing it all, everything that they do on purpose. So yes, you get to be called bad things because you're not a good person. In fact, you're not even a person. You look like a person and you bleed red, but you're not human. You're a monster. So let's just keep it real. You're a monster. So I want to talk to you about triggers. I was triggered today because I got a little sensitive about that topic for some reason. And I like the young lady who actually did the video. I like her a lot. But I got more defensive than I should have. And I also explained that after I made my comment. I also said, wait a second. I literally said that. I said, wait a second. Something along those lines. No. I said, I just realized something. There were some things that happened in October years ago that were directed at me by the narcissist, okay? I'm not going to glorify them by telling what they did. It was just classless, and you don't do that to people, and you wouldn't want someone doing that to you. So when you're dealing with a situation where you may have reacted a little stronger than you should have, or that really rubbed you wrong and it made you mad, it could be that that particular situation made you mad. But if it's a trigger, it'll make you madder because it's serving as a trigger. So you're going to react more strongly, stronger. You're going to have stronger feelings about it because it's a trigger, okay? I had triggers when I worked in the medical field, okay? I lost a pediatric patient, and the day that I lost this patient, every year around the same time that I lost her, my subconscious remembered that, and I would be agitated and no patience, and 1 minute I want to be angry, and next minute I want to cry, and I couldn't figure out what the heck is wrong with me. What is wrong with me? And then I looked on the calendar and I realized, oh, subconsciously you remember things that you thought were all said and done and pushed away and handled and we're good now. And that may not be the case because subconsciously you remember. And when you're dealing with situations that are traumatic, or dealing with people who have caused trauma in your life, or a medical situation, or you went to war, or whatever it is that served to be a traumatic situation, you can be triggered in the future by things that you never thought would be triggers, but it is serving as a trigger. When I had that incident with that my pediatric patient, I mentioned this in another video. I was good for about 2 weeks or so. I had myself convinced. It was my first time losing a pediatric patient. I had myself convinced I was good. I'm good. I cleaned the heck out of the ambulance. That floor was so clean you could eat off of it. I scrubbed it and scrubbed it and scrubbed it. And it didn't hit me until 2 weeks later. And I remember getting out of bed and I was leaving my room. And like I said, I mentioned this in another video. I left my room and I kind of fell against the wall and I slid to the floor and I bawled and bawled and bawled and bawled. So I wasn't as good as I thought I was. It was delayed reaction. One of the things that the chaplain told me, and I'll never forget it. Oh, well, I wasn't invited to the briefing pertaining to this incident, and she was my patient. I talked about that in another video, so I'm not going to rehash that. But people have no soul. They really have no soul. Anyway, I'm fighting with my bracelet because it wants to be. I'm having all kinds of jewelry problems, aren't I? Anyway, so things will serve as a trigger. That's what one of the things that he told me. And I mentioned that in another video as well. That the chaplain told me that There was in Kansas City, there was a school bus versus a POV, privately operated vehicle, a car or SUV or something. I'm not sure what kind of vehicle it was. But there were children on the school bus and there were fatalities, okay? And he told me, he was teaching me about triggers, and he said to this day, the ambulance crew are still triggered. To this day, they're triggered when they smell breakfast cooking. And I said, why? He said, because breakfast was cooking when that accident happened. Down the street, there was a restaurant. So, you know, things that you least expect can be a trigger. And it's important to know what triggers are, because you know what can serve as a trigger for you. It's important to know what they are, because you you need to know that, number one, that's normal. Number two, you're not going crazy. You're not losing your mind when you get triggered. You're not losing your mind. You're really not. You're not going crazy. But if you don't know that that's a trigger, you might think that you're starting to lose it. You know, you're like, wow, that was a while back. Why am I still affected by that? You know what I'm saying? And another thing, and I do believe I mentioned this in a video also, but it's worth mentioning again, narcissists will leave you when you need them the most. And I'm just going to throw some scenarios out there. You know, you lost somebody, someone died, or um, you're having problems with your best friend, and your heart is broken, or you're about to go into the hospital, or something of that nature, something dramatic. You just lost your job. Anything that's traumatic to you, that's a perfect opportunity in the narc's mind, whatever there is up there that you want to call a mind. Must be my neighbor upstairs. Anyway, I'm like, don't let that be Jason, because Halloween's right around the corner. Jason, I would knock you out. For Friday the 13th, I would knock you out. Don't. Did you notice nobody can ever kill him? Did you notice that? Okay, so anyway. They'll leave you during a traumatic situation, and this is the reason that I've seen, you know, people say reasons why they think that this person did it, and the reason that to me makes the most sense is they leave you during a crisis, because what will be on your mind when they run away? Their name is going to be in your mouth. You're going to be telling people, can you believe that? I just lost my job, and my partner left me, or my spouse wants a divorce, whatever. Their name is going to be in your mouth, and narcs are children. They're very, very, very juvenile, and negative attention is better in their twisted brains. Negative attention is better than no attention. So yes, you went through a crisis, and yes, you lost one of your parents, or whatever it is that happened. But you'll also be saying, I can't believe so-and-so did that to me. Can you believe that someone's capable of doing that? You see what I mean? So they're getting off on leaving you in the, first of all, they're getting off on the fact that they left you when you needed them the most. So that's fun and games to them. First of all. Secondly, you'll be talking about it, and you'll remember it for a long time, because what they did was horrific. They love it. They love it. So yeah, they are robots, and they are monsters. They are. They're not human beings with emotions. So if you don't have a soul, you're just an empty shell walking around. See what I'm saying? You know, whenever I'm making a video, somebody has to talk to me. And I don't really know why, but they... can y'all bear with me for a second? I'm sorry. Someone's asking me a question. I'm sorry. And of course I can never. Sorry. Y'all please have patience with me. I'm sorry. Anyway, sorry about that. Never fails. Anyway. No, this person's asking me a question and I'm trying to give the answer. But, um, no. And all right, so triggers. Let me tell you some of the things that can serve as triggers, okay? And I'll tell you how to deal with them. And I'll tell you what I did today when I was triggered, okay? Tell you what the chaplain told me. Sight, smells, things that you see, things that you hear, something someone says in a movie, something someone says in real life, all of that can be a trigger. Even in a happy moment, something that should be happy, you can initially be happy, and then all of a sudden you feel this heaviness on you because you lost somebody, for example, and this funny situation cannot be shared with them, so it's really sad, you know? So sight, smells, things you hear, things you see on TV, something you see in a movie, even in a joke, it could be funny initially, and then it's not. So yeah, these are the types of things that can serve as triggers. And, or, you know, I think a lot of us get triggered on YouTube because people say anything, you know, and they're hateful on purpose, and you're going, you didn't mean anything bad by what you said, but you're getting attacked for it and cussed out. And I've even seen situations, which is the epitome of disgusting, but I've seen situations where somebody was doing a tribute on YouTube because they lost their child. And somebody took it upon themselves to say something exceptionally nasty. And it breaks my heart because how can you do that? This person is experiencing one of the worst things a parent could ever face. And you took it upon yourself to say something nasty? Are you serious? Wait till your turn comes, baby. That's all I can say. I believe in karma. I believe in karma. Anyway, so now that you know what can, even, you know, like I said, smells, these are the types of things that can serve as triggers. So, what you can do to work through triggers is, number one, you need to, after you, well, this is what I do. You know, I react strongly to something, or I feel really sad, or I feel really mad, and I don't know why. And so initially I'm confused because I don't know what's happening. Okay? Like, you know, in the heat of the moment, and, you know, whatever emotion I'm going through. And then after a little ways, like, you know, a couple minutes or whatever the time frame is, then I ask myself, okay, why did I react so strongly to that? That was, why did I do that? Oh gosh. Sorry guys. This is my last time interrupting you all's time. I'm sorry. So, sorry, forgive me. Sorry. So once you realize that you're tripping, then you can ask yourself why. What is going on with me? And then once you realize that, oh, you this time last year, or this time 3 years ago, or 10 years ago, around this same exact time is when this happened to me. Okay? So if you do enough soul searching and you find out, number one, like I said, that you reacted stronger, more, you reacted stronger than you should have, then you can go into what's happening with me, and then you can possibly discover why. It's because of a trigger. So once you acknowledge that it's a trigger, I think that's depending on how deep of a trauma that is, even if it's not a deep trauma, then you can begin to self-soothe. Self-soothing is going to be different for everybody. I would not advise alcohol or drug abuse. That's bad. Okay, that's bad. Don't start getting in the habit of drinking because you're having a crisis that you can't deal with, because the next thing you know, you're having 2 beers, 5 beers, 10 beers, 20 beers, and you really don't care anymore. 1 beer goes into 20. So I wouldn't advise, I honestly, truly do believe that stress management needs to be taught in schools. I do. I honestly think that it should be taught in school, because it doesn't seem like stress management is being taught at home, because we've got a whole lot of people abusing a whole lot of things. So because they couldn't handle life, somebody needs to teach you how to manage your pain, because otherwise you can look for destructive ways to manage your pain. And a lot of those things are just temporary anyway, and when you're done doing those destructive things, whatever they are, those problems are still going to be there plaguing you. You know what I'm saying? So, self-soothing. I will play nature sounds on my phone, like a thunderstorm or something like that, and then I'll go soak in a bath while the storm is playing on my phone. I light candles and put them around the bathtub and just immerse myself in the sounds of the storm. Thunder, lightning, heavy rain. I love it. And this is a hard one to do. It is, but it's worth it when you do it. Take yourself out for an ice cream, or take yourself to a movie. You can catch a matinee. When you feel heavy, the last thing you want to do is get a shower, get dressed, and get out the door. But it's the best thing. It's the last thing you want to do, but it's the best thing you can do. Because once you actually force yourself to do it, you're like, oh, that made my day better. Wow. I mean, it really does improve your mood, and it gets you out of that funk that you're in. You know what I'm saying? I've done swimming, and I fought disability for 7 years, and my evidence was ignored, and my medical evidence was completely ignored. So when you file for Social Security disability, let me tell you a secret. The outcome of your fight or your struggle to get it is not contingent upon your medical records. Let me repeat that. It's not contingent on your medical records. You know what it's contingent upon? It's contingent upon the mood of the judge. You heard what I said. It depends on the judge's mood. It doesn't matter if you have brand new paperwork and medical evidence of the yin yang. You got a better doctor this time, and this person documented. It doesn't matter. It depends on the mood of the judge whether you get it or not. It's not contingent upon your if you're disabled or not, and it is also not contingent upon. I'm not saying white people don't get denied. They do. But if you live in certain places, I'm in Missouri. If you live in certain places and you're the wrong color, and the judge, it's up to the judge, not your medical evidence, honey, you can forget it. You got to fight harder, and your chances of getting it are slim to none. So I went through a severe emotional roller coaster. I mean, severe ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. Um, Anger, depression, tears, rage, you name it. I went through all of that. Um, so I'd go swimming. When I've had enough, I'd go swimming. And I would beat the living tar out of the water. And by the time I finished swimming, I'm exhausted. And when you're exhausted, guess what happens? When you're exhausted, you don't have any energy to be angry anymore because you're beat. You know what I'm saying? And people think you got to be decrepit, like coughing up blood and have organs, hanging out of your body to qualify to be disabled. I got news for you. There's a lot of people that are disabled and it's invisible. Excuse me, y'all. What is? Oh, I got flies in here because the weather is warm. You see the look on my face? Okay. So, I hate to do this to y'all. I really do hate to do this, but bear with me a second, okay? Somebody's going to get hurt up in here. So anyway, sorry. I got my trusty spray. So he thinks he's playing with me and I'm not having it. So anyway, what the heck was I saying? So you cannot, once you wear yourself out, you can't be angry anymore. You cannot be exhausted and angry in the same space because you don't have the energy to be angry. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you about a little incident that happened when I was in the store. When I was going through this roller coaster of emotion, I mean, like, roller coaster again, and it's indescribable. Okay, it's indescribable. Same country that you pay taxes for, and they'll take all your tax money. Now you don't matter, and you're a liar, and your doctors are liars. Are you serious? I'm not so important. Doctors are going to risk their career by lying for me. Anyway, moving right along, but you have to have sense to know that. Anyway, moving right along. So, anyway, I lost my train of thought. This is what happens when we get old. So anyway, I'm senile, and my birthday's on the 25th of October, and I'm senile already. I'm just kidding. Anyway, or am I kidding? Maybe not. Anger, tears, all of that, and you just have to find a way to self-soothe whatever is guaranteed to work for you. Some people are artistic, so they will paint. Some people do gardening. That's therapy for them. Some people immerse themselves in music. They can play a musical instrument. I can't play a musical instrument. I'm just going to tell you. I had a keyboard, and I taught myself how to play. My heart will go on. My heart, what is it? My heart will go on. Anyway, the theme from Titanic, I taught myself how to play that, but I am not musically inclined. I was a dancer, not a, musician. So you have to find what soothes you. Positive things that soothe you, not negative, bad things, okay? You have to do it. You have to do it. Go hiking in the woods, get a puppy. I mean, there's things that you could do that are going to make you feel good instantly, and some things not so instantly, if you're sitting on the back deck and you've got a fire pit going and you're looking at the stars at night. And I mean, there's so many things that you can do. You could be creative and come up with things that self-soothe, because people don't always understand what you're going through. They don't always know what to say to you. There are people who have they've had tremendous loss, and they've lost friends in the middle of that. How do you think that makes them feel? You know, somebody that's now paraplegic, confined to a wheelchair, and your so-called friends are like, I don't know what to say to that person, so I'm just not going to say anything. And they run away. And it's like, wow, what kind of friend are you? Not a real friend, because if you were, you would have stayed by the person's side, because that could have easily been you. Don't get me. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Stop laughing. I told y'all quit laughing at me. Okay, so I remember what I was going to say. I was on a mission to kill those flies. I mean, seriously, it's really warm here. And it's October. It's ridiculous. Anyway, moving right along. Okay, so I was having a really bad time. And I was in the store, and it was one of those days where just a bad day. And I could easily, I don't want to say flip out, but, you know, my emotions were raw. All right. So I went into the store, and I asked the pharmacist. I was going to pick up some medication, and I asked the pharmacist a question, and she answered my question, and I bawled my eyes out. As soon as she answered me, I bawled my eyes out. I'm pretty sure she was shocked, because what she told me was not grounds for me to start crying. Okay. I just lost it. I just freaking lost it. And then I apologized to her, and I said, I'm sorry, I'm having a really bad day. She didn't tell me you got 3 months to live. You know what I'm saying? But my emotions were wrong. And so I'll never forget this. So now I'm dealing with the emotion now, and then I'm mad at myself because I'm crying, and then I'm mad at myself even more because I'm crying in public, right? And as y'all can see, I'm light skinned, so whenever I bawl, it's going to be obvious. Eyes are red, nose is red. You look like Rudolph, so it's not like you could. I guess you could pretend you're having allergies, fits or something. I don't know, but it was just not a good day. So I'm going down the aisle, and I saw this lady, and I'm deliberately not making eye contact with her because I don't want to see her to see how upset I am, which is ridiculous. You can see it all over my face. I didn't say I was always rational. Okay, I'm not. So I would not make eye contact with her. I didn't want her to notice me. I didn't want her to look at my face. I'm just going to be in stealth mode, or so I thought. And she said, I have a clear blue sky. I get emotional every time I talk about it. I do. She said, try not to cry. She said, can I pray for you? And I broke. I just bawled all over again, and I said, yeah, I'm going through this thing, and I'm filing for disability, and and she's like, okay, can I pray for you? And I'm like, yes. Total stranger. I don't know her from a can of paint. She prayed. I don't know what we prayed. I don't know what we said. I just know it was peaceful in that moment. And for a total stranger to even give a damn, that's pretty awesome. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty freaking awesome. Wow. Somebody I don't know cares. Wow. I'll never forget her. I swear to you, I'll never forget her. So anyway, some people will. I'm trying to think of other things you could do to self-soothe. Some people like to read. I like to sing. I've got a cold right now, so my voice is just not 100%. But I've been singing anyway, which is not smart. Okay, because you're straining your vocal cords, and I just had a scratchy throat a couple of days ago, and I'm still having coughing attacks because. So anyway, I went on a nature walk the other day. I love nature. Okay, I went on a nature walk the other day, and I took part of the path that I'd never taken before, and what happened? I'm seeing these flies, and it's just making me edgy. Can't stand it. That's all right, because the winter's gonna come, and I won't see none of you fools. Anyway, they're distracting me. I'm gonna get them. Watch what I do. Watch what I do. So, what the heck was that? Oh, self-soothing. Reading a book. Oh, anyway, I took this. Stop. I can't help it. I'm gone. I'm going up here. I'm gone. Anyway, so I took this path. I took this path that I normally don't take. And I gotta unplug this because I don't want it acting weird. And I discovered a pond up there. And I've been living here for a long time, and I never knew there was a pond up there. So I went up there and I saw the pond, and there's a big tree at the foot of the pond, and the roots come out, and it kind of blocks if water were to come through, but water's going to come through anyway, right? It's going to go to the path of least resistance, right? And then there's a rock ledge that goes like this, and then there's another rock ledge that comes out like that, so it would make, it would make a waterfall if there was rainfall. So when I went the first time, there was no water coming down the ledge. And then let's see, the next day or a couple days later, there was a severe storm, and it rained like crazy. Well, when I went back to that path, I thought I heard water, and I'm like, is that what I think it is? Is that leaves rustling, or is that water? It's water. And sure enough, I got to see a waterfall, and it was gorgeous. So I could have taken a chair, brought it in there, and stayed in there indefinitely. Brought something to eat, something to drink, and I could have stayed in there indefinitely. I mean, so you'll find things that are self-soothing, okay? I have, in case y'all haven't figured it out by now, with all the videos that I have a significant amount of life experience with a lot of things that people should not ever see in their lifetime, and I have experience with those things. It's a whole myriad of things that I have experience with that, you wish you didn't have that experience, but it also made you wise, So if anyone needs counseling, I am not a counselor, I am not licensed, but I have an honorary degree from life, okay? Life experience. A degree cannot replace that, although I admire that people have a degree, but life experience is different. You're not learning in a classroom. You're actually learning hardcore on the street, front row, the front line, so to speak. So if anybody needs counseling, just let me know. If you need someone to talk to, you need someone to confide in, I do charge a little bit of a fee to do that, but compared to what some other people charge, I think I'm pretty reasonable. So if you're interested, let me know down in the comments below, and then we can make this happen. If not, well, check out my videos, and hopefully they will help you. Yeah, I've got an honorary degree with life. I do. Made me smart. Smarter. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm Einstein. You're always going to learn. You're never going to know everything. It's just, it just doesn't happen like that. But you learn a lot because you've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, I love you guys. Subscribers, thank you for subscribing. You mean the world to me. Hugs and kisses. And for those of you who are not subscribed, you're special too. Don't think you're any less special. You're not. And press the button and the bell icon, and you'll be notified whenever there are new videos, okay? You're all special. Reach out to me if you need me, and I think the world of you, and I think you're special. And, my bank has a saying, and I think it's really cool, and I'm going to share it with you. They started this. They incorporated this into their training with their new hires. So after they assist you with whatever you need, they are trained now to say, share a smile. So that's what I'm saying to you guys. Share a smile. I love you. Take care. Okay. Bye-bye.